Welcome to the I Date Money show. We are live doing something I've never done. This is an exclusive event. I met Riaz. I don't know really exactly how we met. We were in something. I joined your group and I was just like, wow, it's so powerful. And I was a guest in your group and did a powerful presentation on calm cash flow. And as entrepreneurs, as we think about our money, as we think about the system that we have set up, as we think about spending the money that we have, all of you are like in the rut. I'm sorry. I'm going to just put it out there. You're taking your money from your business, you're commingling it with your personal funds, and then you're wondering where all your money went. You're wondering why your business isn't thriving, why you're not hitting your profit margin goals, and you're probably blaming it on the systems, the sales, the marketing, whatever it is, wherever you want to transfer that blame. But in cash flow, confidence, wealth, welcome to I Date Money. If you're making money but still wondering where it all went, if you're ready to organize your cash flow, build confidence with money, and create lasting wealth, you're in the right place. I'm Lisa Drennan, wealth activator, creator of the Money Multiplier System, and founder of the Smell of Money community. If you're a multi-passionate female entrepreneur who's making money but not building wealth, this podcast is for you. Each week, you'll discover practical strategies to organize your cash flow, keep more of what you earn, eliminate debt, and build lasting wealth with confidence. So grab your favorite essential oil, take a deep breath, and let's sniff our way to cash flow, confidence, and wealth. Reality, just get a mirror and look in it. The problem is you. Today, we're going to dive in. We're going to go through and Riaz had shared with me pre-show that she hates talking about money. It is the most uncomfortable topic ever. So if you imagine our nervous system bubbling over, right? I can't talk about this. I know what that's like. Believe it or not, even though I've been in this industry since 1987, I understand about the nerves around money because we were brought up taboo. Don't talk about it. Don't tell anybody how much money you make. Don't tell anybody, how much money you have saved or invested. And nowadays, you have to worry about people scamming you out of your money. And if they know you have a lot of money, all of a sudden you get these DMs and these proposals. And I get phone calls all the time. Oh, I have a business proposal for you. Who are you and why are you calling me? I did not ask for you to come into my world. And so setting those healthy boundaries with our money is so important to help calm our nervous system to regulate it. And that's one of the reasons why I use aromatherapy with my clients in the Wealth Accelerator, because this power of oil, essential oil with breath and thoughts, is a game changer when it comes to managing your finances, especially in your business. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. For those ladies that are here watching, thank you. You're going to be able to ask questions, so stay tuned and just listen. Riaz, tell us a little bit about yourself, your business, what you do, and how you help to serve others.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Lisa. My name is Q, and I also run a group on school called the Inner Brilliance Collective. It's an all-women community. I prefer to work with women above 30, the ones that have had a very difficult inner critic. The inner critic is, defined as the voice within the head that's always speaking down to you, and it's just trying to protect you from not putting yourself out there. And it's basically trying to make sure that we don't put ourselves out there and experience any of the fears that have brought some negative experiences in the past. So I just wanted to work with women, the ones that are working toward, grooming their self-worth, and they want to find ways to develop a healthier relationship with the self. So when I started doing this work, I was extremely passionate. I grew really quickly and I had a lot of ideas in my head. I wanted to do a lot with the women and create actual transformation. But the one thing that kept really getting in the way was the finances. And when I say that, let me actually be more specific than that. Like selling myself. Selling myself became such a difficult topic for me because my inner critic kept saying, how do you know that, you're worth the money that you're asking for? How do you know that you're a subject matter expert yet? How do you know that people are going to buy from you and they're going to actually get the transformation that you're promising? So my inner critic kept getting at me, especially when it came around the topic of me selling myself to people, saying, hey, come join my paid group coaching, the premium coaching. That's where we unpack everything. And that's how you're going to actually experience the transformation. I just couldn't sell myself. And it's not like I didn't have the ideas. It's not like I don't have the expertise. It's not like I'm not putting in the work. It's not that I don't have ideas. I am great at facilitating. I feel people, I can make people feel seen. I can hear them. I can help them. I can help them experience a transformation. But when it comes to selling my services that would eventually help people, the avoidant part of me, it's like someone presses on my rib cage and I can't breathe. And I know everything about nervous system. Like I study it every day, all day, 7 hours a day. Yet still, when it comes to this particular topic, my rib cage just starts to, and I can't breathe. The discomfort becomes extremely physical for me, Lisa.
I can feel that. And my rib cage is twisting as you're talking, and the stress on your body. And I love that you are in this field. And that's why I was so attracted to your group. I was like, wait a minute, she's calming the nervous system, because as coaches, we can't calm our own nervous system. Yes, we have the tools and we can get to the surface, but to get deep down into the root is so challenging for us to do on our own, especially when it comes to that specific topic. So I love that, one, you identified it, and two, that you're brave enough to be here to work through it. So thank you. So that avoidance, that's the biggest blocker that we have in our sales, in our money, in receiving. And we think that it has to do with, I'm not good at sales. I went through so many sales courses, and every time I see a sales coach, I'm like, oh, I need your course. Shiny object syndrome. No, I don't need your course. I can sell. I have a proven track record in my insurance business and my coaching business, but there's these doubts that come that say, well, I can't sell to that person. That person, oh, and then we start to get judgmental. So I want you to just close your eyes, and I want you just to take a big deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. And as you're breathing in, I want you to pay specific attention to your rib cage. And as you breathe in, feeling that rib cage expand, feeling it relax. And for those of you who joined us in, if you want to go ahead and do this practice as well, you're more than welcome to. So taking that big deep breath in and just relaxing your system, feeling that energy in your rib cage. Imagine you're inside your body looking on these ribs. What does it feel like to be standing in this space? Everything you do comes from this space. Our body speaks louder than our words, than our actions. And when it comes to receiving, there's one certain part of our body that we feel the pressure. We feel the tension. For you, it's the rib cage, and perhaps it spreads. For some, it may be the chest. Wherever it is, just breathe into it, connecting with that energy and soothing it. I want you to go back to a time that you felt this for the very first time. It could have been a memory from childhood. It could have been a memory from adulthood. Whatever memory comes up first is the right one. And just notice what you were doing, who you were with, and what was happening. Notice where in your body you're experiencing this memory, breathing into it, and notice how you feel at this moment in time. What does that feeling remind you of? And if you could name that feeling in one word, what would that feeling be? Allow that feeling to expand, to be fully seen, fully heard, fully felt, giving yourself permission to feel, to connect, to allow that expansion. Take a big deep breath in, breathing deeply through your nose. Hold your breath and slowly exhale. Repeat 2 more times. Big breath in, hold your breath, slowly exhale. 1 more time. Big hold your breath, slowly exhale. Now I want you to imagine that feeling as a person. It's you, your younger self. Look into her eyes, put your hands on her shoulders, and really see her at that moment in your life and just thank her. Just say your name, looking in her eyes. Thank you so much for your inner strength, for your wisdom, for the choices that you have made. And just tell her, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And when you're ready, open your eyes. What feels different?
This was heavy. This was a heavy exercise. And to me, it took me back to an exact moment of when I started to experience this discomforting relationship with money. I've had a difficult relationship with money all the way up until 18, but my brain is taking me to a specific memory where it just all got extremely out of control. And if it's okay with you, is it okay if I go ahead and share?
Absolutely.
It's a very heavy memory, but I think that it's really important for me to hear myself out loud. And since it's a supportive environment, hopefully I'll be able to lessen the discomfort that comes with, talking about money through this experience. So I want you to know that I'm somebody that grew up with an extremely low self-worth. In 7th grade, something happened where I ended up internalizing that I am bad. Literally, I am bad. And after that, I never thought that I would be able to go to school. I never thought I'd be able to get a job. I never thought I'd be able to do anything. Well, prior to that, I was excelling academically. I had goals, I had aspirations, but that specific event just skewed my perception on a lot of things, especially toward myself. So then there's one thing that got internalized, and it got internalized quite intensely. And it was just this desire to be chosen. So I don't feel as bad about myself as I did in that moment. So school went out of the window. My career, professional aspirations went out of the window. Everything went out of the window. And this desire to be chosen is what I got fixated on. So I came to the US when I was 16. I came here in 10th grade. My English was really bad. I actually did really well in high school. I was in the 3.6, 3.7 GPA range at that time. This is back in 2008. And I could have gone to a community college. I could have, but no, because deep down inside, I truly 1,000% believed that I would not be able to get an education, that I would not be able to get a job. Like, why even try? Why even bother? Right? This was pure survival. Just get through high school, prove to my parents that I graduated high school, and that's it. And I just got fixated with the idea that I needed to be chosen. I got married because I thought, this is how I'm going to be rescued out of my misery, out of my situation. And this individual probably was able to get an idea that I was quite vulnerable. And because I had extremely low self-worth and people could pick up on it, my parents had kind of let me go because they thought that I'm not somebody that was going to actually be able to do anything with their life. So they probably just, gave up on me a long time ago. So this one specific event where I remember that we were out of town. I think this was somewhere in Connecticut, and he had to go to work. So because I didn't have a driver's license at the time, he made us check out of the hotel at 9 a.m. because instead of checking out at 1, we just checked out early. And he dropped me off at a mall. And he said that I'll pick you up at like 5 p.m. when I'm done with work. So I'm out of state, no money, no driver's license, nothing. And the individual did not even give me $1 to buy myself bottled water. And I stayed in that mall all day up until 5 p.m. just wandering. And every time I felt thirsty, I just went and I got myself some water. The water fountain by the bathrooms. And all I know is that I never wanted to feel like that again. I just didn't want to feel so helpless, so hopeless. So, because I felt so stuck in that moment. Like I had no money and I felt stuck and I couldn't deal with myself. I couldn't deal with the reality. I couldn't deal with my helplessness. It was such an intense day for me. And I was hungry all day because I had no money. And he literally just like left me because he had to go to work. And that entire day I was hungry and all I knew is that I wasn't going to end up like this. So out of my rebellion, out of my like anger, I got out of that relationship. I moved back in with my parents. I got a job. Like out of that rebellion, I went into community college. I graduated, university. But I stayed in that rebellion with money that I'm never going to feel that helpless, that hopeless again. So I got credit cards and I started spending credit cards and I started like fulfilling my wishes, spending the money I didn't have. But I just like didn't want to feel that feeling that I felt.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm so sorry that you experienced that. And you trusted somebody and they took advantage of you and you gave away your power. And to share that with us, to be so vulnerable, that's so powerful. And that's going to help so many people listening. I have the chills and I'm trying to fight back tears right now. I'm like, I have so many negative thoughts towards that person who did that. And it's like, I wanted to be at that mall and just like, I mean, how many times have we, seen somebody in that position and we see and we know, but we don't know because there's that struggle that you go through. And I just want to honor you for sharing that. Like your heart is it has so much love from it, from that experience. And you were so strong to know, like, there's women who let that happen daily over and over and over again. We get caught up in these relationships with these narcissists, with these gaslighters. I mean, I was stuck for 3 years doing that and being in that position and being so vulnerable, and your inner strength, your power to say, you know what? I am not going to do this. And you got out. And so just giving yourself that honor and that grace that you were so strong, that's a very powerful, pivotal moment for you. Now that it's released, are you ready to forgive yourself?
I have so much compassion for that 18-year-old girl that was just roaming around the mall, looking at things that she couldn't buy, looking at food that she couldn't buy. Thinking that she's never going to be able to go to college. She's never going to be able to find somebody who's going to love her. She's never going to be able to hold a job. She's never going to be able to build anything for herself because she truly struggled with that self-worth piece. And this is why this work is just so personal. This is just so important to me. Because I feel like, when we're stuck in that negative perception, not having any support, not having any kind of like positive, mentorship that can pull you out of that state and help you see things in different perspectives, I didn't have any of that. I didn't have anything. All I had is myself, and I hated myself. So I'm a 36-year-old woman now. I'm going to turn 37 very soon. But looking back at that moment, looking back at the little girl, I think all I have is just so much love and compassion. And she did the best that she could to survive. It was pure survival.
Are you surviving now?
I am out of survival, but I'm not thriving yet because I still need to heal that relationship with money. I need to pull back from the rebellion and the fear, and I need to develop a relationship where I see it as a tool, where I see it as something that will bring abundance into my life, and I can do more of what I want to do.
Describe what that looks like for you.
Not being able to worry about rent, not being able to worry about, my basic expenses, being able to take care of my daughter because of course she's my responsibility, and then pursuing these things, getting the certifications that I need, getting the education that I need, getting the help that I need with the technical stuff of doing this work because sometimes I lack those skills. So I basically want to put more resources into this work that I really want to do that would truly benefit so many people. Like, I have the skill of public speaking. I have the skill of facilitation. I have the skill of looking into the camera and speaking, and I'm finally getting comfortable with being vulnerable. I have a powerful story that I want to share with women so they can, snap out of this, I'm not good and I'm just going to be like this forever. They need a different perspective. And especially hearing someone that walked a path that was so hard, that was just so painful, and there were no chances of surviving it, seeing them thriving is truly a form of a great inspiration. So I want to be that for some people, but in order to get there, I need to work on myself. I need to, facilitate some things in my life. And for that, I need resources, financial resources.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So when you think about this, I just want you to close your eyes and I want you to visualize. Do you have any essential oils? Okay. I want you to sit back. What's your favorite scent?
For me, it's definitely rose.
Okay. So I want you to smell the scent of rose. I want you to just sit back. I want you to put your palms face up in your lap and just relax your shoulders. Imagine you are surrounded by thousands and thousands of roses in your favorite color. They're so fresh and bursting and filling the room with scent. And as you breathe in, you're connecting with that sense of rose. It brings you a sense of stability. Roses are beautiful and soft and have vibrant colors. Their stems are strong and prickly. They automatically come with protection. As you're inhaling these roses, noticing their strength, the protection, and how careful you have to be when you reach for one that you don't get pricked by its thorns. Transferring this over, this softness, this prickliness, this comfort, this awareness, knowing that when you pay attention, you get to enjoy the roses, but if you're careless, you'll get pricked. Paralleling this with your money relationship. You want financial security. You want to feel peace and serenity, but yet their sense of safety, that prickly feeling is dominating your super subconscious. I want you to imagine your future. You're standing in the center of this room with all of these roses all around you. All the stems have been stripped of their thorns. You can freely touch them and roll them in your hands. And you're just really enjoying the beautiful colors and the scent. As you look around the room, you see a white light against a white screen, and a movie starts. This is a movie of your future. You're surrounded by beautiful things. All that you desire is all around you. Your business is thriving. You see your future self working with thousands and thousands of women, sharing your beautiful story, speaking on stages, and money is everywhere. It's in all shapes and sizes. It's in your home. You're completely cared for. Your family is cared for. All of your desires are met. When you open up your bank account, you have millions of dollars invested, saved for your future, your children's future. You drive your favorite car, your favorite color, loaded with all the options. You go to the favorite spot in your home, your safe space, where you just sit and you're so grateful. You're grateful for everything that you've built. You're grateful for claiming your worthiness. You're grateful for everything that you've had the courage and the strength to build. As you watch this movie, you see yourself on stage, speaking, inspiring millions of women around the globe. All the women saying, "Me too. Thank you, Q. Thank you so much for sharing your story." At the end, they're coming up to you and they're just in tears hugging you. A lot of them were referred to you by your clients. Some heard about you and just had to meet you. As you look at this screen, you see how easy it is for you to receive money, knowing that you are deserving, knowing that you are fully equipped with your gifts and talents, knowing that you have the power and that you created this movement. As you look at that white screen, it turns into a mirror. As you stare into that mirror, you're staring into the face of your future self, the one that desires financial peace, financial freedom, financial security, the one who has already achieved it. You look into her eyes. She sees you in your present self. She sees your heart's desire, and she encourages you to take the action that you need to get the support that you desire to achieve this financial freedom, this true wealth, to build your empire. You have the power. You claim it. Look in the mirror and say, "I am sovereign. I am worthy. I am strong. I am creating a legacy for my family." As you look back in the mirror into your future self, she smiles at you and hands you an object. When you receive it in your hands, complete calmness washes over you. And this is exactly what you need to move forward. Feel that object in your hands. Feel the weight, the texture, and look at that object. This is your sign, giving yourself permission to take the next step, to think of the present moment of now. Squeeze that object in your hand. As you do so, it turns into the tiniest stone, clear, and into it you see the exact path that you're taking. That clear stone floats up over the palm of your hand in front of your eyes as you look at your next action step, feeling peace, surrendering, claiming that sovereignty. Watch as the stone turns in a circular motion, noticing the direction it's turning. It hovers lower in front of your throat, down into your heart, and pops inside of your heart, where it fills you with warmth, light, and safety. This is the key to your financial success. When you're ready, open your eyes. What feels different?
Lisa, it was beautiful envisioning my future self and a future that I really want. But the piece that I'm struggling with is something that you shared in the past session that you and I did together. And you said borrowing money from the future self. It was good to meet her during this exercise, but at the same time, I have shame around the money that I've borrowed from my future self. I've paid it off, and I paid it off with a lot of pain and a lot of suffering and a lot of stress. It's done and over with, but it gave me instant gratification, but in the long term, it was just like a very painful experience that has completely terrorized me and traumatized me, the topic of money. So how do I forgive that part of me that borrowed from her future self to feel that instant gratification and that suffered in the long run?
You ready for the answer? It's going to shock you. You simply say, "I forgive you." It's not easy. What does forgiveness mean to you?
Forgiving the self is something that I have been working on for some time. And the only thing that I can think of right now in this moment is that the younger self didn't know any better. She was just in pure survival, literally just the head above the water, and every inch of the rest of the body was literally in the waters. Like, I feel like that's how I've lived for some time. Just my mouth above the water, just enough for me to breathe in and breathe out. But the entire body was in the middle of the ocean, in waters, and I didn't know where I was going.
Yeah, I can feel that treading. So what does forgiveness mean to you?
She did the best that she could to stay alive with everything she had.
You're giving her grace. That's beautiful. I know what it's like to hold on to unforgiveness. When I had my 2 abortions, I did not forgive myself for many, many years, for decades. I mean, I had my first one in 1984 and no clue when the second one was, but I lived with hatred and unforgiveness towards myself until 2019, May 2nd of 2019. And every May, I have a battle. In my Wealth Accelerator today, we were talking about it, and we have a session called the Profit Gold Mine where we go through the aromatherapy and our thoughts towards money and what keeps us from hitting our profit margin goals and having the money that we want. And there's patterns that we have. And when we start to track those energy levels, you start to see those patterns like every May, every March, every October, whatever it is. And once you're aware, once you know, and you stop and think, okay, what happened on this day? And maybe that's when my second abortion was, I don't know. But holding on to unforgiveness is like taking poison every single day. You are poisoning your mind and your body by refusing to forgive yourself. Forgiveness is simply the idea that you're not going to hold on to that thought. You're going to release the thought of that revenge that you want. You're so hateful towards yourself that you deserve to be punished. You deserve everything negative that's ever happened to you because you're no good. You've made the wrong choices. You've done this, you've done that, and therefore suffer. When we choose to not forgive, that's what we're holding on to. When we choose to forgive ourselves, we say, you know what? You did the best that you could. At the time of your life, at that moment, you made the best decision that you could with the tools that you had, with the people that were in your life. It was an experience. I choose to forgive myself because, yeah, I messed up. I made a decision that I could never, ever take back. I could never, ever change. But I can't let it eat me alive for the rest of my life and dictate how I'm going to see myself and prevent me from helping others. It caused me to create $100,000 worth of debt. Not once, but twice. I mean, at 22, I created $32,000 worth of debt. I should have known better, but I didn't. So in my 40s, I beat my 40-year-old self up for racking up $100,000 worth of debt and then hiding it from my husband, who accused me of infidelity, financial infidelity. Who the heck am I to teach on finances? Even though I've been in the industry forever, who am I carrying a bankruptcy plus $100,000 worth of debt? Money burns a hole in your pocket. Who are you? My family didn't support it. You have the audacity. Who do you think you are? And it wasn't until I did my own identity work and I got a coach because I couldn't do it with aromatherapy on myself. And I went back and I traveled back in time and I realized, yeah, I gave my power away. But worse than that, I refuse to forgive myself. And because we misunderstand what words mean, we choose to live in them and recreate the cycle because somebody along the line told us that we deserve punishment. And that's all a lie. And that's the biggest lie. And you know this because this is what you teach. But teaching it to yourself and releasing it and knowing that that's why your story is so powerful. And that's exactly why you're going to help so many people. And all you have to simply do is say, Q, I forgive you. You did the best that you could. And I'm so grateful that we experienced this because it's exactly what I needed to be on the path to do what I'm doing today.
I always looked at my past version as something that I was just so embarrassed. You know, a version of me that brought upon so much humiliation and, made mistakes but I forgive her and I love her and she did amazing by keeping me alive. She did a hell of a job.
You did. Thank you so much for sharing that. Do you feel complete?
Yes, I see her and I have always looked at her with this sort of like, oh my God, reckless behavior, bad behavior. And now I see somebody that was just doing the best that she could with everything she knew.
Yeah.
So I forgive her and I love her and she's awesome. She's very good.
Beautiful. I feel your peace. And those tears are cleansing. Release them, let them fall, and drink a nice tall glass of lemon water. And after these sessions, I usually tell everyone that goes through them, you're going to get some downloads over the next 3 days. So just listen to your body, take care of you, honor yourself. And if you feel called to journal or, voice record anything that comes up for you, that's really going to help process this fully so that you can take that next action step that your future self gave you. So thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Do any of you ladies have any questions that you want to share? Because before we sign off, I want Q to share her link so that tell the audience how they can connect with you and how they can get into your world to do this beautiful work to get that support. All right. Or if you want to share something, you can do that too.
I don't have a question,
Absolutely.
but I have something I would like to say to Q in regards to everything that she went through. When we look at growing up and we look around in those moments, those memories that come back to us and we feel helpless. But then we think what I did was bad. What I want to challenge you with is to look around when you're in that memory and realize that in that moment you had a hammer. So you just started hitting everything, because when you have a hammer, everything is going to look like a nail. And it's in that moment when you realize that you can put that hammer down and you can find other resources. You can find other things that are going to help move the needle forward for you a lot quicker than smashing a hammer on every single thing that comes around. That's where your power is. And you were never truly helpless. You were put in a position where you were needed to show what your true power was.
Thank you, Heather.
100%. That was a beautiful perspective, Heather. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Thank you.
I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that Elena's is in Flameless
Thank
Living.
you.
Mine is the Directory on School. That is my community on the school platform. And what I do is I help small business owners and creators become more visible online without having to do it in the social media way, because who wants to live on social media for the rest of their life? This is a way you can show up and you can intermingle and network with other creators, other business owners in a space that's fun and uplifting, and you can learn along the way. I also do event packages similar to what I'm doing with Lisa later on next week. So helping her get the word out and spread the word that there's an event coming up for her workshop that she has coming. So those are just a couple of the things that I do, but I think it's a lot of fun to connect with other people, and that's where I shine. I've found struggled just like you for very many years with not knowing what it was I was supposed to do, and then thinking, well, I'm really good at connecting people, but that's not a job, until you make it one.
I love it. And we'll put your link to the directory in the show notes. Thank you so much, Heather. And Elena says that she is a licensed nutrition professional in Spain, author and founder of In Flameless Living. I like that. I get it now. She has a community on anti-inflammatory nutrition and lifestyle. She helps people to understand how the body works and how to calm chronic inflammation so they would be back on the energy levels. Thank you so much. And we will share her link to her community in the show notes as well. So if you have chronic inflammation, I know a lot of times our money stories show up in our body physically and create inflammation, then you need to connect with Elena. And, if you want some advertisement from a pro who can create momentum for you through Pinterest and graphics, you need to connect with Heather in the directory. And Q, tell us about your community and how people can join.
Awesome. So my community is called the Inner Brilliance Collective. I basically work with women that have a extremely difficult inner critic, and we basically do pattern recognition work to identify areas where it is the most loudest and needs the most attention and acknowledgement. So I also have some free resources that I offer many community members, and I also have premium group coaching, which is for people that would like to actually experience the transformation. So that's where I come in. If you don't know where to begin, you just, join us, and with the journey, with time, you'll with the repetition of the work that we do, you will start identifying the areas that need the most acknowledgement in your life right now. So that is what I do.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you, Q, for being so vulnerable. All of these ladies, we are on the school community. So if you haven't been playing over there, it's so much fun. Lots of connections, collaborations, and so many wonderful groups that you can join. We like to call them communities because we're not just a group, we're a community. We're actually interacting with each other, supporting, doing collaborations such as this. And this was so fun. For the podcast, I Date Money, for my faithful listeners, you guys have never done anything like this before. So if you want to come on the show, I want to do this again. This was fun. I really enjoyed it. I loved the impact that this is going to make. And this is just going to be so powerful for everyone. And if you followed along and went through the aromatherapy process, Even if you didn't have the scent, you know it's still powerful. The aromatherapy, the essential oil, when you use it, it actually accelerates the process. So if it's something you want to get into, come join the Smell of Money on School. All those links will be in the comments, the show notes. And remember, it doesn't matter how much money you have, it's what you do with it. If today's episode helped you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with another entrepreneur who's ready to build wealth with confidence. And if you're ready to go deeper, come join us inside the Smell of Money, where we turn these conversations into action. Before you go, grab your favorite essential oil, take one deep breath in, and slowly exhale. Breathe in cash flow, exhale overwhelm. Breathe in confidence, exhale doubt. Breathe in wealth, and trust the woman you're becoming. Until next time, cash flow, confidence, wealth. This is Lisa Drennan, and you've been listening to I Date Money. Keep trusting yourself, one money move at a time.